another episode of Jaws Diet for A. Whitaker. This show is a part of the World of Relay Podcast Network. We'd encourage everybody to check out all of our social media pages and YouTube channel, and like, subscribe, comment, share, and so on. So I'm gonna special thanks to Marcus Hard, Transfer B Media, Jay Stein of the Disability Channel, Zach Clayton of the Pet Channel, and Lawrence Wingate of Wingate Studios for allowing us to have this show on their platform. So I'm going to hand it over to Jennifer to get us started.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Emily, and welcome everybody to another show of this is the Jaws Coffee Chat podcast channel, but the specific show on Mondays 9 a.m. Central Time on Mondays for as long as we have options available for you, and I personally am in good enough health to come live. And I say that because if you watch our other shows, many of you know how I have a lot of everyday struggles. That's why we have also the JAWS Mental Health Awareness and JAWS Christ Talk. And in those, many of you who may listen to them occasionally or maybe only once would know that I'm very open about my different disabilities I struggle with. However, I do what I can to come to you and bring you information of different stuff I know. And as far as the JAWS diet is a vegan, I mean, not all the way vegan, but some foods are vegan because it's a gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, egg-free diet. But that doesn't mean it's free of meat as long as the meat is free of the allergens, just like everything else we talk about. And I'm talking about meat specifically because if you've seen all of our other shows for JAWS Diet, you know we've talked about drinks, we've talked about snacks like the no cow bar, or I think we even talked about the made good bars that are a good snack and other things. But this time I want to look at meat. Personally, I have a low sodium condition, so I'm supposed to be on a high sodium diet. And that said, I learned that meats in general are a high sodium food. Whether it's the fresh steak you get at the grocery store that's raw, fresh ground beef, fresh chicken, any kind of fresh meat, or it's that you get what I'm going to show you today, which is the Star-Kissed brand of various meats ranging from tuna, salmon, to chicken. And this one, can everybody see it well? It's legible, Emily? This is the Star-Kissed Tuna Creations Hickory Smoked flavor. And if you read the allergens on the back, you can see the only one that says contain. The only one that warns you about is fish in this case. Now, I will admit, there are some of the Star-Kissed meats, whether it's tuna, salmon, or chicken, that do have soy. So you need to check whatever flavor looks good. Check back where it will be the ingredients over here, and in bold is the word contains, and what's contains and soy. Unless for some listeners, if soy is not an allergen and you can tolerate it, then you would be able to eat any of the Star-Kissed tuna, salmon, or chicken. But for those of us who are on the restrictions that I am, where we cannot have gluten, dairy, soy, or egg, I know the buffalo chicken by Starkist is a great flavor, in my opinion. That's also free of the soy. Um, let's see, and I know the salmon one I've got before is gluten free, and the barbecue flavored tuna, I think it is, or chicken, but I think maybe it's tuna, but it's another Starkist tuna, salmon, or chicken. It's barbecue flavored, and that one as well is allergen free. So the great things about these is that, as many of you can see, these are ready on the go, so it's great for lunch to get some kind of meat in. And nutritionally, yes, it's high in sodium, which it has 340 milligrams, which is 15%, but that's not excessively high for those of us that work out, which would mean it could be a great snack before or after a workout. And some people may say it's better before the workout because it has 32% of your daily protein need, which is 18 grams. And in addition to that, it has 6% of vitamin D, 4% of potassium, 10% of vitamin B6, 110% of selenium, 4% iron, 70% niacin, and 100% of vitamin B12. So it definitely gives you energy with that vitamin B12. But it also, with the potassium and sodium, it also hydrates you. Those of us that do workouts and have at different points been dehydrated, you may notice if you go to the emergency room, they put sodium in you. It's called sodium chloride. That's what the IV usually is pumping into you. It may look like water, but it's actually, again, salt, liquid form. And that's not to say that it's not mixed with, that those IVs are not mixed with water and the chloride, but point being that that's how they get you hydrated, is by putting sodium in. And so I'm explaining that because these options, whatever flavor you choose, are a great option before workout because of the 32% protein and the high sodium. That's only 15%. What would be a lot for someone who workout is our day of rest, or whatever other reasons that are not our workout days. If you have a low sodium condition like I do, it would be great to eat anytime, like as a regular lunch item or breakfast item, or whenever else that you're on the go, depending upon what shift you work with your job, or volunteering, or whatever else is your daily activities. I'm reading on the back, and it says they also have tuna in jalapeno flavor, but I haven't checked that one because personally I have acid reflux, so I have to avoid the spicy stuff as much as I loved it before. Another great one to check out to see if it's for salmon. They have mango, chipotle, and lemon dill. Again, those are two flavors that I haven't checked out to know if they're allergen free. But then again, all of these, the only allergen that they have besides the bacon ranch that has milk is otherwise soy, that we need to check for. But of course, being tuna, salmon, and chicken, at least the tuna and salmon all contain fish. But on Jaw's diet, we're not worried about fish. We're worried about gluten, soy, milk, and egg. I know the buffalo chicken that they name under chicken flavors is allergen free and, in my opinion, very delicious, especially since I love buffalo wings. But many times when I go to restaurants, buffalo wings, even without breading, are cooked in the same fryers as those with breading, which means for those of us that are more sensitive to even the cross contamination of gluten, that we cannot eat buffalo wings at restaurants, and that's why I named the chicken by Sarkis. That's a great option if you're one of those that kind of food. And it also names zesty lemon pepper. I'm not sure if that's the one that has lemon. I mean, no, I'm not sure if that's the one that has soy. Maybe that's why I don't need it. But either way, to say that even looking on the back, I can tell you it says Creations has more than 20 varieties. So just sticking with this one brand, there's more than 20 flavors of tuna, salmon, and chicken that's ready on the go. You just open it here. That's already started, and so it's easy to open. All you do is bring this for your meal that's on the go, and maybe a spoon or fork, depending upon what you like to eat it with. I eat it with a spoon, so all the sauce and everything. However, as I mentioned, the different nutrients, it's also high in omega-3s, at least this one because it's tuna. And the same would be true of the salmon, but not necessarily the chicken, because the good kind of omega-3 is found in fish, unless you take it as a supplement. Anything to add or ask? Do we have anybody interacting on Clubhouse or anything? Wow, I was asking if anybody had anything to ask about the food I was talking about, and here you appear. Click, she's here.
I'm sorry. I was supposed to be here at 10.
Hey, did you hear my presentation?
No.
So we're talking about, this is the show where we talk about options that are free of gluten, soy milk, and egg, which are my 4 allergens. And we're talking today about tuna creations and their different flavors, or you could even say it's Star-Kissed. See this?
Mm-hmm.
And I named
loves those.
Who does?
My daughter.
Oh, really? Well, did you realize that they're great as pre-workouts for if she's an athlete, because it's high in sodium, which is a electrolyte that if people dehydrate because they don't have enough of that, but compared to how much they did after a workout compared to the amount that was in their body before the workout, and then and also that it's got 32% sodium. 32% protein. So it's good for muscle building because it's a high protein. You know how people have these high protein shakes and stuff before workouts because they're trying to build and pump up, you know? So this, whichever flavor you go for, the Star-Kissed ones that are on the go are good for that too. And before you came in, I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 different nutrients that are listed below protein, like vitamin 12, B12 that it's got 100% of, and 7% sodium, 70% niacin, 4% iron, 6% vitamin D, 4% potassium, and that's another electrolyte that people lack when they dehydrate, is the potassium. 10% vitamin B6, and 110% selenium. Did you realize all the nutrients?
No, I didn't. She likes them. They're easy to take to school when she doesn't have a lunch.
So that goes to my idea that these are great options for meat that are healthy and good for on the go.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I was talking about. These being great meats. They're not necessarily as good as what you can make fresh for dinner, but as on the go, they're a way to have nutrients compared to like Vienna sausage and spam that's full of a bunch of fat, cholesterol, and other unhealthy things.
Nice.
Do you have any comments to add or questions to ask about what we're talking about today?
No, not at the moment.
Emily and Kurt, are y'all with us?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought I was talking to a ghost. So, did you have any comments or questions to ask or add?
I've seen those in the store. I think I had one once. That was,
What did you say? I didn't make out.
I've seen those in the stores. I think I even tried one once a while ago. So it was good.
It was good. Which flavor did you try?
I don't know if I'm not aware that it was any particular flavor.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you didn't get these on the go ones. Cause see how this one.
Yeah, it looked just like that.
It did.
She just doesn't remember the flavor.
Oh, I thought she said it didn't have a flavor, and I'm like, what? They all have flavors.
Didn't remember the particular flavor. I think is what she was getting at.
Oh. Is Kurt with us?
He was.
You saying he was coming? I couldn't make out what you said.
Was connected previously.
Oh, he was connected.
He was connected on StreamYard, but he's not in
here.
He was connected on StreamYard, but he's not anymore.
Yeah, that's what I just realized. So I'm going to ask you another question, EJ. Have you noticed any difference? Have you noticed any difference in how your daughter does? Like, let's say at school or at PE or other things, since she eats these Star-Kissed creations versus before when she ate something different.
She hasn't mentioned anything different, no.
But you haven't seen anything about her performance being any better because of the protein and the good for her brain and stuff?
Not really. But I'm not there at the school with her when she does it at lunch, and I don't see her at PE. So I wouldn't really be able to tell.
No, but you could look at days before she took it for lunch versus days that she does take it for lunch.
I have noticed. I'm a bad mom. I don't pay attention. She has something to eat. That's all I'm concerned about.
We're supposed to be all about health and nutrition here. Do you have any news to share?
On health and nutrition?
Or anything Anything you've seen on the news or anything that relates to health and nutrition?
We did a healthy exercise on Saturday. We went to a place called Go Ape, and it's an obstacle course up in the air with zip lining. You have to get through all these obstacles, and so it uses upper body strength and core. And it was very exhausting, but we survived. We made it through. Isabella almost didn't. She got a little dramatic at the end. She was tired.
But did you eat protein beforehand? Is that why you get exhausted?
Probably.
Well, it actually does make a difference because, like, different doctors and nurses and other people in health professions say that your muscles really are physically made up of protein.
Mm-hmm.
Just like your bones with calcium and other parts of your body. So that's why I was picking that joke at you. How did it feel to be active, though? Did you have any like better mood afterwards?
Probably. I mean, we were just so exhausted because we had done a fundraiser with our scout troop that morning, which wasn't very healthy. It was pancakes, but it was protein. We had the sausage and the fruit. But that was like 5 hours of that, and then it took us about 3.5 hours to get through the course. So we were exhausted. We came home and slept for many, many hours.
I'm asking about, so are y'all generally physically active, or is that an unusual thing for your family?
That was an unusual thing for us. It was Gotcha Day from when we adopted her. So it was our Gotcha Day celebration for this year.
See, and we encourage on this show being regularly active, even if it's someone that, let's say, whether they have a gym membership and they go work out for an hour at least 2 days a week, if not maybe in 4 to 6 days a week, but the more, even as long as you allow yourself at least 1 day of rest, like a break from working out, or maybe 2 days, if it's someone that say they want to go during the business week, the weekend off or something. But we encourage that because part of being healthy is also being active.
Yeah.
And if it's someone who can't afford a gym membership, even like places like Planet Fitness that I think they're nationwide, that's $10 a member, like $10 a month for a member. There's opportunity to go walk laps around your community or your apartment complex, or to run around that area, or to get roller skates and to skate on the different, concrete trails. They're really like sidewalks that wind and all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But like using the different things they have, even like people with cable. Did you realize that part of your TV, there's, I'd have to see what's the app part of it. It's not YouTube, but there's other apps in our modern day TVs where we can watch different workout videos. And then there are channels on TV, if you have cable or satellite or something of that nature, to get the other channels that do have workout channels, different channels of workouts that you can do. Yeah. And I'm not talking about the promotional shows where it's 30 minutes of an ad of something to buy, but like but even then again, going back to YouTube, these modern day TVs all have YouTube as one of the apps. So even sticking with that, but going on your TV to play it, you can do a search for a beginner workout. And in beginner workout, you can even do a search for, say, leg workout or upper body workout, lower body workout. All these different searches we can do, just like in Google.
Yeah.
And you could even.
It has similar.
But that's the basic version for people who may not be able to afford additional, right?
True.
Which is why I said YouTube if it's on a tight budget and they can't get a gym membership. But you are the Fitbit. The Fitbit, I'm not sure if they have beginner workouts versus.
They do.
Okay. And how much is it per month to have a Fitbit premium account if they already have a Fitbit?
I think I paid like time. That's the problem. You have to pay.
It's under $10 a month, but you have to pay.
Yeah, you have to pay it
It's
by
under
a year.
10, but it's under 10 a month, but you paid in a year.
I think so. Yeah.
So it means it's one time a year under 120.
Correct.
Okay. And see, that might be a lot for somebody with low income.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I was going to say, if somebody is in a similar situation to me with a low income because they're disabled, there are certain health insurance that will pay for it for us. It's like there's, it's stuff like what I have with my United Healthcare's Medicare Advantage. That's a Fitbit, a free Fitbit. My plan, I keep it for up to 2 years, and I can every 2 years get a new Fitbit for free. And they will also, the whole time that I have that Fitbit, from when I first buy it, or it's technically the receiving of it and setting it up with it, applying, getting a Fitbit insurance paying for it for me, that then they also register it with a Fitbit app that gets a premium account, with that being no cost to me. And same with if someone's like me is on disability and they have a Medicare Advantage, many of them have what's called Renew Active or Silver Sneaker or something called Fit. Are basically where part of that Medicare Advantage plan will pay for a free gym membership. And with United Healthcare, pays for me to have unlimited gym memberships. So like I use it to have free memberships at 2 different gyms.
Nice.
So if someone's financially hurting and they can't afford things, then if it's because they're disabled, then these are ways they can still get these certain health accesses, right? But that's assuming that they didn't have a family member. So I'm talking about resources that are available to everybody, whether they have family helping out or not.
Right.
And then there's like what you're talking about for someone who could afford the up to 120 at lump sum up front. Middle class of some level, right? Versus someone like me that's, below the threshold of the poverty line. But still that there's options for all of us is really where I'm getting. See what I mean?
Right. Yeah, during COVID, when I was pretty much unemployed before I started my business, I walked my neighborhood, which is about a mile, so a couple times a day, and I eventually worked my way 3 times. So it was pretty much 3 miles of 5K most every day. So yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. See, so that's then again where even with a lockdown, which we hope and pray that we never have another one again. But even if it's something like that, you can still get exercise. But in that case, maybe you want to say always be on, if it's in a lockdown like the pandemic, the COVID-19, that you'd want to always be on the opposite side of the road from whoever that's also walking or somehow, walking their dog or whatever, right? So you can keep your distance. Or you may want to also wear a mask, even though, especially if you're in the Houston heat where we get over in the 3 digits, then you may get super sweaty wearing a mask, but you may also feel safer with that. so you can do your workout and not necessarily worry about exposing yourself to whatever virus based on what point in time. Hoping then again that we don't have that kind of event, but what would be a way to, even in a lockdown, to have exercise? Or like where it's some ideas I named before you came in about roller skating down the sidewalk trails of a community or of a apartment complex, running, or even like I have these weights that are like dumbbells that are, some are 3-pounders, some are 5-pounders, and some are 10-pounders. Those I got each from anywhere from $3 to $8 each. One time, just going to Academy or ordering on Amazon, and I do different workouts this way and this way, where my arms the other direction, and then like forward like this, like that. Like for once, it's lifting 1 or 2 dumbbells based on my exercise, and it really does work out. All of my arm muscles as I do it in these different directions of my hands. And other accesses that we can all have are, like there's a magazine I found called Fit and Well, FIT and WELL, and it has healthy eating. Their options are not allergen free, but they are healthy to the general public. And they have the recipes and directions on how to cook their dishes. And then they have different workouts that you can do with only having, say, a yoga mat or a few dumbbells, like I'm talking about, or only this long piece of what looks like styrofoam that's really small, like the inside of paper towels, that inside that's round. It's about that size, but it's long enough that it's as wide as the average American's body, so they can lay their back on it, and their full back would have, so that piece to rest on. And they show different exercises in this little magazine you can do with that rolly styrofoam thing to relax different muscles, and to others to work out. They're just rolling different areas of your body on it in different poses and positions. And so then again, it's even if that rolling piece, whatever it's called, is all you have, or that subscription to, I think it's $3 to that Well magazine, then again, it's something that's available to people of all budgets. Do you have any other ideas or anything to add?
Those are my usual go-tos.
Any healthy cook magazines, or other healthy workout magazine you know of?
I've just gotten one from a local chiropractor, Dr. Livingood. It's Make Food Simple. I haven't really gotten into it yet, but it's supposedly he's a doctor, but he's tired of the sick care system instead of a health care system, and so he does a lot of promotional videos and things, of course supporting things that he sells, but send this out for free, just to ask for it.
So maybe a doctor is someone else to ask for magazines and cookbooks and stuff that are healthy options.
if they are into that. So many doctors are not proactive.
That's true.
Look for the ones that are don't just say, okay, now you're sick, here, take this pill. This guy is very proactive on getting you the information you need before you're sick, and once you're sick, to get you back on your body back on track so that you don't have to take all the pills.
Yeah, and actually, something that Mayaka, I don't know if our listeners know who Mayaka is, but you do, EJ, who's also part of our team. She mentioned go to a holistic doctor and how they use different supplements and stuff to get your body the nutrients it needs. That's the missing nutrients, the deficiencies. That's why you have whatever condition. So they're trying to instead of medication, they're trying to efficiency by having to take a supplement that deficit with what it needs to not be a deficit.
Right. One of the things you do is instead of Gatorade, which has it helps your electrolytes, but it also has all the other chemicals and sugar. Nature's Gatorade is cucumbers and honeydew melon.
Well, the regular Gatorade doesn't have sugar if you get their zero. But then it probably
still has the line of chemicals and stuff.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. It probably would still have the dye. And I don't know what else to be defined as a chemical, but I know it's got dye in it.
Yeah.
But those are still things that the body doesn't know. And I was reading in the Fit and Well magazine that those are those things that usually get stored on our belly. That's why so many Americans, if we have weight nowhere else, we have a belly that we don't want. And it was saying that that's where your body stores is in the belly area, because it knows it can't digest it. It's foreign, so it just stores as fat on the abdomen or belly area.
Right.
And so cutting out those different additives like the chemicals or the dyes or these words you can't even pronounce, and you're like, I don't even know if it's right.
Right.
Then if you'll tell and repeat to our listeners what that water is, that's a better alternative to sport drinks, then maybe we can advise them also to try that as their hydration in place of sports drinks.
Yeah, it's just to eat more cucumbers, which are very watery. They have a lot of water in them, and they have the nutrients for the electrolytes that you need. And to eat honeydew melon. But the combination of those two is the nature's Gatorade supplements that you need, and the fluid, the water build up in it, more than just drinking regular water.
Okay, but it's not an actual drink. It's not an actual drink.
No, it's just
okay.
Actual,
in that case, snack or recharge.
Exactly.
But they still need to drink, because
you can infuse it. You could put it in your water, slice cucumbers and honeydew and put them in your water, and that would infuse the water, give it a little more flavor and the electrolytes that you need.
So let's say they had a 8-ounce cup of or some call it a glass of water. How many slices of melon and cucumber do you think they should add? Like how often we do lemon. So what about
just an 8-ounce? I would say a couple of each. Just for 8
a couple of slices of cucumber and a couple of slices of melon, so an 8-ounce glass of water?
So. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm not really up on that, but that's what I would do for an 8-ounce glass. I would just put a couple of each of them in there.
Okay. Because the key is that hydration is the lack of water. Like in cases like mine, so the lack of sodium. So that's why I was asking that, because it's food, like especially watermelons, right? They have liquid to hydrate you,
Right.
but not as much as say the way that most doctors say you need to make sure you drink enough water, right?
Right.
And like, I don't have a Propel in my hand, but there's an actual brand of called Propel that makes water that's flavored, but it has 10% sodium added, so it can also hydrate you, as far as what I'm talking about with those of us that work out enough that we need to recharge our sodium. But it's flavored water, and it's also sugar free. It's got stevia in place of sugar. And some people, like myself, believe that stevia is a better alternative if you're going to have something sweet, because stevia is natural. And we haven't yet, if ever, proven anything to show that stevia is bad for the body, like we have done for how many years with sugar, right?
Sure.
And then the recent years.
Alternatives.
Well, and I was going to say, and Splenda is actually sugar that's been processed to get the calories removed, but it's still sugar. So especially for diabetics and others that have to watch their sugar intake, Splenda is not really a better option as far as their glycemic index and balancing their blood sugar. Which is then again why I go to stevia. That's something we can actually naturally grow. Emily?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, are we ready for our next part?
Anybody have any announcements?
Will you go first, Emily?
Not sure I really have any announcements at the moment. Other than if anybody is interested in creating between a 30-second and 2.5-minute video on their development interest, connection and so on with a nonprofit. Looking for people who are involved in nonprofits. So we are connected with a nonprofit TV network out of Texas now. So if anybody is interested in that, please connect with me.
And that's on zoom.us, and then you call Ability now.
That's only if you're looking to have me record the video for you.
Okay, where should they go to connect with you if they're interested in what you just said?
Connect with me at podcastengineer54@gmail.com.
Okay. And I wanted to announce that we are looking for people to help co-host and lead different shows on Jaw's Coffee Chat. And we're looking for people to help with our Jaw's Diet show, such as health providers, whether you're a doctor, a holistic doctor, traditional doctor, nutritionalist, dietitian, or maybe even someone that's along the lines of a trainer or other person for the working out side that knows stuff about the healthy eating. If you're interested in being a co-host, please go Please go to calendly.com/Jen's Books and More. That's CALENDLY.com/Jen's GendlyDLY.com/JENNS books and more. We have filled our positions for those of you who know we've been hiring, except for we still are looking for someone in public relations to release different press releases and other things like that. And if you are that public relations person and you're interested, which in trade you would get a percentage of the ownership and profits, then please also go to calendly.com/JENNS books and more to meet with myself, Jennifer A. Whitaker, the host and owner, and possibly a team member as well, so we can come together as a team to see if or how we can work together. Then again, and you would get a percentage of the ownership, which would be your form of compensation as far as that equals the profits. For listeners who would like to see what else we have to offer, you can go to our website, Books and More by JenniferAWhitaker.com. That's Books and More by JenniferAWhitaker.com. And that's our website where you'll find more about our podcast as well as our other products and services, professional services we have to offer. And I think that's all for us. Back to you, Emily.
I also, if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, I'm encouraged you all to contact us at jawscoffeechat@gmail.com. That is jawscoffeechat@gmail.com. Wanted to thank EJ for coming on today, as well as anybody else who has tuned in. We are here every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Central. And I encourage everybody to join us at the same time whenever your schedule allows. As well as reminder to check out all of our social media. And on behalf of Jen, John, Kirk, myself, and the rest of the World of Ability Podcast Network, a productive week and to stay happy.